Today is Ascension Day, when we remember Jesus returning to heaven, as it's often presented. And also, there's a lot of comment and mention in the liturgy, in our prayers, about all authority, and in the readings, all authority in heaven and on earth, all powers and dominions are under Christ's rule. That's the message of Ascension. The kind of message which says that Christ rules. He is now returned to the right hand of God. And the idea of being at the right hand of God is that Christ is everywhere. And Christ rules. But it doesn't often seem like that. We just think about this week. This week, we've had the whole question of the whole kind of cost of living crisis stuff coming up again. With Rishi Sunak's kind of statement, and about the energy crisis and the costs of energy, so on and so forth. We've got energy companies who have made, I think it was before the so-called energy crisis, and I kicked in, £6 billion profit in February. And we have our prices for energy rising massively. Just this week I sent out on the WhatsApp something I thought it might be helpful for people to know about how people can apply to help with the cost of living crisis. A number of people got back to me and said that even though they were really struggling, they are not eligible. Even though they are struggling, they are not eligible. That's here, in this community, amongst us, with us. People who are working say, even though I have no pay, I am not eligible. So people are struggling to make ends meet here, in this country, in this time, at this time. Whilst meanwhile, profits for certain others are rising high. Is that God's wish? Is that Christ's rule? And then, of course, there are others amongst us who have been fearful over the last few weeks, because those who are in Britannia Hotel and considered as fearful that they might be one of the ones who get a letter which tells them that from June the 6th there is a possibility that they may be deported to Rwanda to deal with their case. Luckily, not anybody amongst us has faced that. But it's a real issue. Hundreds of people have been issued with those statements. Again, is that Christ's rule? Is that how Christ wants to see us live? How is it that we can say that Christ has authority when things like that are happening to our fellow human beings? Last year, the World Health Organization said that it would take $6 billion a year to get rid of world hunger. If all the nations committed themselves to $6.6 billion a year, we could rid the world of hunger within a decade. Last week we heard that £40 billion were being put into escalating war in Ukraine. Of that 40 billion, 2/3 of it are going to arms manufacturers. People making profit out of war. Is that Christ's rule? So when we face our personal struggles with these kind of issues, when we look at the world, when we see the news on our television screens of war in Ukraine or elsewhere in the world, it does lead us to that question: where is Christ's rule? And I think there are answers to those questions in our readings this morning. There are answers to those questions in our reading this morning. You see, the message of Ascension is for those disciples was Jesus as a living body amongst them, a physical presence amongst them, was to go. And he went. No longer as a physical presence gone, but the commission that he says, and the message that's there in Ephesians, he is at God's right hand, which doesn't actually mean that he's up there. It means that he's all around. He's accessible. That's what being at the right hand of God means in ancient terms, that he is present with us. And what do they say in the passage? When he is gone, the angels come and say, why are you looking up to heaven? That same Jesus will come in the way he came before. It's a call not to be looking up, but to be looking around. To be looking around for Christ's presence. The angels come and tell them not to be looking up into the sky. He will come as he came before. But now is the time. They are told that they have to take on the witnessing to the love of God through preaching repentance and forgiveness. In both Acts and in Luke, the disciples are called to be witnesses. And that they will be clothed with the Spirit in order to do that. They are called to participate in bringing the change that God seeks to bring about in the world. There is work to be done, they are being told, in the name of God. No longer is Jesus physically present with them, but they are to trust in that presence, and to trust in God's grace, and to trust in God's Spirit, through which they will be given the power to be witnesses to his love. And that's what happens. If you read the book of Acts, that's what happens. That's what they end up doing. They end up living as witnesses. Those frightened disciples end up being powerful witnesses to Christ's love in the world. And the early church is also full of those kind of stories. Trusting in order to worship and to act. Trusting and praying to God. So the sense is for them, as it was for them, so it is for us, as we look around our world. And we await the coming of Christ. And I've said this before, I've said this many times. The psalmist says that 1,000 years are like one day in God's eyes. So we're in day 3. Okay, we're in day 3 of God's revelation of love. And we are called to be participants in that revolution. To live Christ's love in the world. As those first disciples were called to do so, to trust. And how do we build trust? We build trust by having a prayer life, opening our hearts to God, taking those struggles of our own life to God in prayer. I often take a rosary to bed with me these days because I find myself waking up in the morning worrying about things. Sometimes worrying about some of you and what's going on for you. Sometimes worrying about myself, and sometimes worrying about the world. And I hold that rosary. And I imagine Mother Mary looking down. I've got a lovely, beautiful icon of Mary in my bedroom. And I imagine her as she's looking down and hearing my prayers. Or I pray the Jesus prayer. Lord Jesus, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. That type of praying through our struggles can give us strength and God can come into us. We need to do more about that in this church. We need to talk more about that. We need to kind of work more at that. We need to look at and teach each other and learn from each other how different forms of prayer can help to build our relationship with God. So trusting God, trusting that God is there, and even if it's hard to do so, as if God is there. As if God is there. Daring to believe that the truth of the gospel is true, that God is love, and God is there for us. Even if sometimes it's a struggle to perceive that, or to feel that, to believe as if God is there. Trust as the disciples trusted. And worship, what's the first thing Luke says that they did? They go to the temple to worship. And that's why we come here to worship. So we can pray, we can build our personal relationship with God, but we also need to build a relationship as a community with God. As a community, we're given the strength and the courage. That's why we meet here for the Eucharist and we receive the Eucharist. Trusting in God. Worshipping God together as a community, building a community of worshipping people who through the sacrament are given the strength and the courage to step out into the world. And finally to act as a community. Those disciples acted, those first disciples acted in the world, going out into the world and preaching forgiveness and repentance. Those who would run and hid behind the doors when Jesus was crucified, those who deserted him, became proclaimers of the gospel. And not only did they face the resistance of the religious authorities, but also the empire itself. And they gathered, didn't they? In Acts we hear they gathered and they set up their own economy. Those who were poor, had nothing, were given by those who were rich and had something. They set up their own little economy, alternative economy for their own time. And it says they shared all things in common, and people who had property sold it or bought it, so that the poor amongst them might eat. Acting, trusting, worshipping, and acting. And we too should and do seek to do that. We seek to act to struggle against the cost of living crisis by some of the things we do here during the week, the food market that we have on a Saturday. We seek to act to respond to the hostility of refugees, because many of us are in this congregation refugees, and we seek to support those refugees, and we seek to act also. We seek to act also in the world to promote peace, to challenge ourselves and not to fall into what we are being called to do, to see others as inherently evil and ourselves as inherently good. To look at the mote in our own eye as well as a step in someone else's eye. And that's on a personal level, on an international level, on a national level, on a political level. Never seeking to point a finger, because that's not the way of Christ. So, on this Ascension Day, when we're asked the question, where is Christ? We listen to what the disciples were told. And the disciples were told, as Christ ascended, that they are now called to take on the task of preaching forgiveness and repentance, preaching God's love to the world. And they do that by trusting. We get the confidence of that by trusting in God, by building a relationship with God. We get the confidence by worshiping together, receiving the sacrament together. And then they can act and they can live in the world. So as we gather this morning for our communion, as we seek to again experience, to celebrate sacrament, and to experience the presence of Christ who comes, especially amongst us here, as we celebrate sacrament.